We got Otto fucking Porter. I was up super late last night doing shit for these videos. So I might have had a couple cocktails. And so I slept in today. So it's literally like, well, it's always 4:20, as you know. It's a day off. Happy Canada Day. But basically it's 2:45 and I'm like, oh, I get up and I'm like, I just want to check like the responses from different people. So I've got one from Samson Folk, did an amazing video over at Raptors Republic. As usual, by the way, Raptors Republic, great. But even bigger kudos to Samson Folk. He's easily become probably my favorite person that knows a shit ton more ball than me. And I've learned a ton by listening to him. Shout out Samson Folk and all of Raptors Republic. Anyway, I'm writing here, and in my message to him from yesterday as a response to this video, I mentioned I like Bjelica and Payton. And so he's like, we're joking back and forth, and I was just going to say, bummer, Payton went to Portland, which is the update. So I'm like, oh fuck, what team did he go to again? I couldn't remember. So I come to this website that I've just been refreshing to see stuff. Look what the fuck I see is the Otto Porter shit. Guys, I'll put it big so you can read these. So this is the updated shit from free agents. Let's go through it. Nurkic back to Portland for $5 million a season. He's staying for $4 million, I think. Lavine gets the bag in Chicago. No shocker. Bruce Brown headed to Denver. What a pickup. Otto Porter to Toronto, guys. Otto fucking Porter. Any of you guys that watched my fucking first video about free agency, I said, I want Gary Payton or Otto Porter, and I want Bjelica with the mid-level. Split it, because you can split the mid-level. You can't use both the biannual and the mid-level in the same season. So we have access to 10 point something mil and a bit of cap room. So I was like, split it between those two guys. I'm thrilled, right? In this video that I made about free agency. And you guys should run over to that video and like it and subscribe it and nominate it for awards and all that kind of shit. I said we probably won't get Otto Porter because I thought Gary Payton was more likely to come north of the border and play in Toronto because he was already in our system. Gary instead got paid very well to go to Portland, but we got fucking Otto Porter, man. We gotta pause here because I gotta talk about Otto Porter Jr. As always, there's timestamps below if you want to skip ahead and continue on with free agents. I think it goes to Bull, and then we talk about Bamba and some other things. There's some shout outs and everything. You'll enjoy the rest of the free agent video. There's some cool signings going on. But we have to talk about Otto Porter Jr. before we move ahead. So nicknames, I think, oh, for sure. I think his other nickname is Bubba, but we'll check that out. Here is where he's coming from. So he's a ring chaser with Golden State this past year. And so he's got a ring on his finger, right? So that's one of the things I was looking for in the offseason. That's why I liked him. I want championship vets that are dogs that accept their role. No one accepts their role better than Otto Porter Jr. The guy was drafted, here I'll click on his thing. So they don't have, first of all, they don't have bird rights on him. The only reason Golden State is not able to sign Bjelica, Gary Payton Jr., and Otto Porter Jr. is because they don't have the money to do so. Okay, so expect Otto to get over $6 million a year from us. Expect that. Because Golden State is a tax-paying team, so they couldn't pay more than roughly $6 million, okay, with their MLE. There's different MLEs for different ranges, and Golden State is a tax-paying team. We're not, so we can pay Otto more. So now we're gonna go and listen to Gubs, and we're gonna go get Bjelica as well. But anyway, let's look at Otto here. Otto's prototypical long arm monster Raptor, right? And he's 6'8". Here, I'll give you full screen. So he's 6'8", nicknames Bubba and O, drafted 3rd overall by Washington. And when he was drafted by Washington, he ended that rookie deal as a total stud. He got the bag, okay? I think he had he got paid, like the full bag, like contract maximum. And then I think due to injuries and some other stuff when he was with Chicago, he ended up kind of going on the wayside. So then he went and chased rings with the best team on the franchise to do that with, the Golden State Warriors, who have great chemistry, something the Nets are lacking. And we'll talk about that. Now, you guys all know I'm not a huge stats guy. So I think the best thing that I can do for you is give you some highlights of Otto Porter Jr. So the game that comes to mind for me is really recent. It's in the finals this year, game 1. I put together this highlight pack for you. Otto went off. So this is all Otto's plays for game 1 of the playoffs, and it's not the only game that he played well, but I just want you to see with your own eyes what we're getting with recent highlights of Otto Porter Jr. Cheers, make sure you thumbs up and subscribe, and then you can get back to the rest of the video. Here you go, Otto Porter Jr., game 1 of the finals this year.
Finals. Smart. Yeah, this league is just better when Klay Thompson is back on the floor. Tatum missing the jumper. That applause you heard, folks, a moment ago was for Andre Iguodala, who had been out with a neck injury since
had in his incredible NBA career.
A blazing start for Curry. White for 3. Porter with the rebound.
I tell you what.
Sleepy Floyd and Rick Barry are looking through the record books, wondering what that number is.
Somewhere the great Isaiah Thomas.
Green on the block. Porter from downtown. Wow! It is raining 3-pointers, and the lead is down to 4.
And a good job by Tatum. Aggressive looking to make a play.
Looney got ripped by Smart. Horford on the break with Tatum. Amen to that. It's not often you get a chance to sit in the chair of a Hall of Famer like the great Mike Breen. Porter knocks down the 3. Klay trapped on the baseline. Porter, one more to a cutting Wiggins. Shot clock down to 3. Got to get to work. And Porter stepped out of bounds.
And we talked about the poor defense this half by the Celtics.
A strength and muscle since coming into the league. Horford. Porter with the board. Porter with an open look.
Has been historically incredible.
Tatum for 3. Robert Williams got ripped by Porter. Poole with the spin. Porter. Wiggins fouled on the offensive rebound.
Is that a player we can work with? Absolutely. Welcome to the 6, Bubba. You're going to be perfect because remember those Thad in the playoffs where we're getting the ball in the post like we used to do with Marc Gasol, and then Thad can cause a double team and kick it. Remember those backdoor cuts with the chemistry with Chris Boucher in the playoffs? Oh, it was so good.
Gives it now. Oh, what a cut! And read by Thad Young. Boucher with a slam dunk to tie it.
At the time.
Thad Young. Here's Boucher. Drains it.
We're going to be looking to do that with Scotty. We're going to be looking to do that with Pascal out of the pick and roll. We're going to be looking to do that with Thad. And one of the guys we're going to be able to kick to is Otto Porter Jr. We're looking to get Fred and GT Jr. off ball to kick to them wide open from the post. Keep an eye on Boston and keep an eye on Trevion Williams. They signed him for their summer league and I want to go get him. I want Trevion Williams for this system of ball we're going to be playing, guys. It's going to be throwback to Marc Gasol 2019. Otto Porter Jr. is a huge pickup for the franchise. Scotty Dime's coming back up. And then you can take a look at the rest of my thoughts regarding free agency. Don't forget, it's not free agent day, it's free agent week. The sign-in trades are still yet to come. The Durant stuff is going on. Watch for my video on that. And some of the sleepers, the guys I described in my last video, the guys that fill out your roster and change it from an up-and-coming team to a well-rounded, oiled machine where next man up is a viable option. That's the sleepers, guys. These are the guys that can fill your roster in such a way that they're cheap and they're like Otto was last year for the Golden State Warriors. Those are the players we're looking for the Raptors. Now let's get back to the free agents that signed. Scotty, take us away. Bull stays to Orlando. So I'm going to say this like straight up. In Orlando, they are going to be able to whip out what Cleveland did as these tall packages. This whole time I was talking to Shoutout John Hamiliton, a viewer of a lot of different Raptors content, Facebook and whatever. I see John making intelligent Raptors fan comments all the time. And even the ones I disagree with, John, you always have your shit together as far as I'm concerned. You're never crazy. We have always been discussing Mo Bamba. Well, Bamba, of course, they don't even give him a qualifying offer. And then he goes back to Orlando, which I had said the whole time, I don't think Weltman will part with him. And then he goes to the open market. So clearly, it was kind of like Chris Boucher, where they're letting him talk to other teams and see what his value can be. And then I'm sure with Thad, Chris, Mo Bamba, guys like that, once they assess their own value, the team goes, well, listen, you give us like favorable thing and we're willing to pay you an extra $500,000 a season to be here. We're willing to pay you better. We recognize what you bring to this team, but, you know, find out what you're worth on the open market. And I think was an important piece in a lot of these signings. So when you see guys staying, I think that's what it is. Bull, probably the same thing. Robinson returning to the Knicks. This is a great re-signing for them, especially getting Hartenstein as well. Rubio to Cleveland. Payton to the Blazers, which is a great signing for the Blazers. The only thing, I gotta talk about the Blazers for a second, because the thing that mystifies me about the Blazers is that they say they want to go for it right now, but drafting Shaedon Sharpe is such an interesting thing. So I'm going to recommend, guys, I'll put on the fan playlist the Shaedon Sharpe interviews from Portland. You should go check those out, because Shaedon Sharpe, young Canadian, all of these free agent signings say they want to go for it. But I think we're going to see an accelerated development, trial by fire, like we saw with Precious last year with Shaedon Sharpe. I think they're going to throw him right to the Wolves, even though he didn't play much college. I really think that's going to be what we see, which would be super cool. Zion extend in Pelicans. Drummond to the Bulls. I don't know why they bothered with this. I guess they want to get on the offensive glass a bit. Brunson to the Knicks, as reported. JaVale McGee to the Mavs, which is pretty big. Patty Mills staying in Brooklyn. Bagley to the Pistons. I think this is a good contract. I think Bagley's going to like the change of scenery, and he looked good at the end of last year. Lou Dort, totally valued in OKC. So this is how good of a GM Sam Presti is. Instead of making exercising Lou's team option and paying him only like $2 million this year, Presti declines it, and Lou signs right back at like a deal people are going to say is overpaying him. And what Presti is using Dort to do is, not only is he a talented young man, but he is character guy. This is going to be, they want Lou Dort to be the vet, the DNA for what players enter that locker room, that training facility every day acting like. And that's what this money is going to Lou Dort for, and he deserves it. He's exactly how you want a young professional to act. Same can be said for Shea, and those two guys are going to set examples for the rest of the lineup. We see this happening with a few teams now, with Canadians being the heart of this, and I think, you know, I'm proud to say, I'm not a nationalistic guy by any means, but I am proud to say that I'm Canadian when it comes to things like being polite, going to work with your fucking work socks on, you know, like you can get fancy ones that look good and match your outfit. You got your business socks on. Remember that Flight of the Conchords things?
It's the business. It's business time.
You know when I'm down to my socks, it's time for business. That's why they call business socks. Ooh,
It's business. It's business time.
Oh yeah, the Pacers are the other team that seems to be accumulating these young Canadians, because they went out and got 2 in the draft this year, and they already had Duarte from last year. Joe Ingles to the Bucks. Joe Ingles, great player. He's just coming off a pretty big injury. Portis stays with the Bucks. He'll get paid a bit better. Simmons, this is a great deal for Simmons in Portland. And again, these are great signings for Portland. Hartenstein to the Knicks, and don't forget they keep their young core. People are kind of sleeping on what the Knicks are doing. I just want to show it for a second. One sec. Knicks roster payroll. This is go-to. If you're looking for stuff, guys, just quick rosters, I recommend this basketball reference stuff. So you just go roster payroll and the name of the team. So if you look at their ages, they've almost got these like older kind of statesmen, but they're grooming the young core. And I really like this. So, and I'm going to give a shout out to Knicks Fan TV. I watch it all the time. Great fucking channel. The year you guys made your run, I was really rooting for the Knicks that year because we were fucking shit, right? With our Aaron Baines center experiment. So shout out Knicks TV. And you guys have every reason to be excited. I also want to give a shout out, one of the most exciting teams right now. And OKC I'd include in this too. So here's Detroit. And if you look at their young core, okay, so we saw Grant leave. This has obviously not been updated. And they also have Luka Garza off of this list. But they have players even overseas like Koprivka. They just took Procida from this year. They've got guys sleeping in Europe. And they've got this young core that they just augmented with great players. Jalen Duren and Jaden Ivey in the fucking draft. Wow. And then Procida in the second round. So for Detroit content, I want to shout out Sean Murphy and his guys over on Half Court. I really enjoyed your content. You guys have every reason to be excited. With Troy Weaver just killing it over there. It's like fucking slaying dragons. It's crazy how good Detroit has done in the offseason. Actually, I should shout out one more. Cyro, Asseo. I've seen a whole bunch of videos from this dude, and he's like right on point. The conversations are great in the chat. And the chat that I've had over at Cyro's channel is going to be the subject of my next video about Kevin Durant. That's what I'm supposed to be working on today. Anyhow, let me get you to the end of this list. Batum did the same thing to stay with the Clippers. Oladipo, same thing to stay with the Heat. Interesting deal. I really like it. So someone was offering him, obviously, the full non-taxpayer mid-level exception because the Heat, I think, were taxpayers. So I think they gave Depot, you know, a touch more to stay there. Interesting contract. PJ Tucker to the Sixers. Sixers fans, I know this looks good on paper, but I think your team is just going to be huffing and puffing when they play the top small ball teams in the NBA. I'm sticking to my guns on this. I think, you know, teams like yours with these elite MVP caliber centers, I'm not fucking saying Embiid isn't amazing, but once they get to the playoffs and all that's left is the cream of the crop, small ball teams, he can't keep up. And you just added fucking PJ Tucker, who I have filmed from last year, literally collapsing on the floor because the Raptors made him so tired running. Okay? Like, he's an amazing athlete, amazing player. He's exactly the DNA we talked about with Dort. Okay? So PJ's a great addition to the Sixers, don't get me wrong. But when you play fucking chess, you try and fucking take advantage of your gifts and you try and take advantage of their fucking flaws. And your flaws are that you can't keep up, period. Like, for 48 minutes, you can't keep up. Marathon men. Malik Monk, 2-year deal to go to the Kings. Great signing by the Kings. Kings are ready to go. Spurs pulled their qualifying offer to Walker. I heard he was going to the Lakers, but I don't see it here. And then we're down to the Durant thing. Okay, so at the end of day 2 of free agency, I'm just about to check the updates here. I haven't looked at them. I'm just about to post the video, and I thought I'd add the ones that are more recent. So, John Wall going to the Clippers. He was bought out by Houston. Great pickup by the Clippers. The Kings still making splashes to make a run this year. They trade for Kevin Huerter. They move away a future pick, Holiday and Harkless. Really good move. Boston makes a dent and goes and gets Malcolm Brogdon, who is expendable for the Pacers, and they use, what did they use to get him? They used Tice, Aaron Naismith, and a 2023 first rounder. That's pretty good. I hope Boston moving Tice doesn't mean Trevion Williams is staying there. I need him in the 6. Kevon Looney returns to Golden State. Was there ever any doubt here, guys? I don't think so, because what do they have on Looney that they didn't have on Payton, Bielitsa, and Otto Porter? Bird rights. Bird rights. They can keep spending as much money as their billionaire will let them spend, because they have bird rights. Bird rights are everything. The big splash of the day is Rudy Gobert's contract gets moved. This blows my mind. He goes to form a Twin Towers pairing with Cat in Minnesota. Let me pull up the details here. So they had to move Malik Beasley, Pat Bev, Walker Kessler, who they just took in the draft, a young shot blocker, and Jared Vanderbilt, and multiple first rounders to get Gobert. Mind blown. Crazy. So there you go, guys. We're through the list on day 1 of free agency. We get Otto fucking Porter and we re-sign our boys. Boom, we'll put that over there. And now all there is to do is sign Bielitsa, maybe Campazzo, like I said in my fucking free agent video. If you're the type of person that wants a backup guard and you're not satisfied with Malachi Flynn, I say Campazzo. If we got Campazzo and Bielitsa with the mid-level exception this year, I'd be fucking thrilled. Like, we just took a team that needed veteran fucking champions. We just added another ring bearer in Otto Porter. If we had Bielitsa and we fucking actually give Koloko trial by fire, I think we've got something here. Fucking cool, man. Fucking cool. Okay, so keep your eyes out. You can like and subscribe for the Kevin Durant video coming up. And just like swagger, the right type of swagger, right? I've talked about that before. Kawhi, I didn't see you sitting there, buddy. Why is Amir Coffee taking so little cash over there? We could have used them. It's all about the Larrys. Cheers.
This is Chef's Kiss approved. Mwah!